Hello Internet, welcome to Mostly Harmless Planet. My name is Chris. Now, anybody who watched the first episode of the vlog Chronicles will remember that I had to edit out my own voice when I was singing due to health and safety reasons. With my singing, it's for the greater good if it's removed. But what really irritates me is the times when it's just insane the amount of health and safety people like to put on things. Anything that could potentially give a child a little bruise on the elbow is banned for health and safety reasons. For example, conkers. Children in schools have been playing conkers for decades, if not centuries, but recently they've been banned because children could get hurt. Conkers is not dangerous. It is a little nut on an end of a string being swung. The worst thing that could possibly happen with conkers is you bruise the tip of your finger, or you maybe, if you're really unlucky, bruise your chin. And whilst they are daunting injuries, it's ludicrous. Last week I read an article about a school in England where primary school girls were told not to wear frills on their socks exceeding 3 centimeters for health and safety reasons. What is so terrifyingly dangerous about more than 3 centimeters of frilly sock that could potentially harm a child? Of course, the fault lies not with the schools necessarily, but with the legal system that we've seemed to have absorbed from the Americans, where you can sue for just about any possible bodily harm. If you get a wood splinter from a wooden tool, you can sue for that, because it was not suitably labelled, not suitably warned, and you didn't know that there would be splinters in a wooden tool. Of course, if you're going to complain about getting a splinter from using something made of wood, I think it is you who are the tool. I'm sure a lot of people know about the woman in America who sued McDonalds because her coffee was too hot and burnt her tongue. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking when they served that coffee. How dare they? It's atrocious, isn't it? Absolutely appalling. You can sympathise with this poor woman, surely. She's insane. It's saddening to think that we can't just live lives. People have been managing fine for centuries before, but no, all of a sudden we're not capable of looking after ourselves. We're not capable of living and making our own choices as to what we think is safe or isn't safe. Now, I admit some people shouldn't be making choices as to what is or isn't safe, but that's still a minority. It's an insult to our intelligence to think that we are so stupid as a species that we need all this guiding. As I said earlier, I'm sure you know somebody who's stupid enough to actually need such guidance, but to impose it on the rest of us, it's insane. It's a step backwards, not a step forwards, and forwards is where we need to be going last time I checked. I think before large governing bodies declare what we can and can't do, there are much more serious issues about what we can and cannot own. There are still some places in the world that think it is acceptable for children to own firearms. I'm not naming any country in particular. USA. And that is rather ridiculous if you think about the extent to which stupid regulations like the frills on socks are being applied to other children. This is the same country that banned Kinder Surprise chocolate eggs because the toys were too dangerous and were very clearly a choking hazard. I mean, compared to firearms, the toys in Kinder Surprise eggs are at a whole new level, very clearly. I think nobody can question that logic there. So if you've got any particular thoughts on health and safety, and if you think that all these regulations are good and progressive and help us as a species, please feel free to leave a comment. If you think I'm being unjust and overly harsh on health and safety, again, please disagree. Thank you again to everybody who's been watching these videos so far and sharing, and I hope you've been enjoying it. Oh, and by the way, I also have a website now. That's right. I am doing this properly, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. So, it's goodbye from me. And it's goodbye from me. I apologize for the delay. I definitely did not forget my USB stick with the video at home when I went on holiday. I'll see you on Friday for another video of Chris On. See you then.